a very, very small percentage of people. But yet, one key question is, ṣé gbogbo wa ni a lè manage ẹ̀ àti pé managing of Nigeria yìí kàn sọ yìí for how long ni a máa fi manage ẹ̀ fún tí gbogbo wa bá ní ká lọ máa manage Nigeria. Everybody knows that the country has been in a very big distress, but we have been told that one day that the country will eventually work. Every now and then we hear the government telling us they are doing everything possibly best, to make sure that, the weather is very beautiful at Iwani summer. So that means we are also enjoying, almost, the kind of weather, so it's a beautiful weather. We cannot complain about that. But again, we would have loved to be in our own space. But nítorí pé Nigeria tí a wà nínú ẹ̀ láti many years now failed to give us exactly, our own right. And right, they say pé ká demand a total exit. Now, many people say we shouldn't exit Nigeria. Kí ni reason táwọn èèyàn ṣe máa ń sọ bẹ́ẹ̀? Did anybody have this information? Kí ni reason táwọn èèyàn ṣe máa ń sọ pé ká má exit Nigeria, ká ṣì wà nínú Nigeria? Kí lẹ rò pé àwọn èèyàn ṣe máa ń sọ bẹ́ẹ̀? Táwọn èèyàn bá ní ẹ má kúrò nínú Nigeria o, ẹ jẹ́ ká wà nínú Nigeria o. Kí ni reason tó ṣe máa ń sọ bẹ́ẹ̀? Pé ká má kúrò nínú Nigeria. Is it something tá a mọ̀ or èyí tá a mọ̀? So when people say let us remain as one Nigeria, the country will work and all that and all that. Kí ni reason tẹ́ ṣe rò pé àwọn èèyàn ṣe máa ń sọ pé ká má kúrò nínú one Nigeria? Because gbogbo wa la mọ̀ pé Nigeria for the period of time tí UK or the British fi operated kódà àgbọ́ra wa yé dáadáa. So kí wá ni reason tó ṣe máa ń ní ẹ má kúrò ní one Nigeria? The future is good and the future is best. So kí lẹ rò pé ó fà á àti pé kí la lè ṣe sí ọ̀rọ̀ náà? I want to know in the comment section. I want to know. The world is moving at a very fast pace. And that means pé in tán lò ní 30, 40, 60 years ago is being upgraded. From the vehicle that we drive, from the way we live, climate change, the technology. The earlier program we had, I talked about how the Royal Force is looking for many apprentices. So what are we likely to gain if we remain inside a one unified Nigeria? What are we likely to gain? Or what are we expected to lose if we leave Nigeria? Two questions, Imobere. If we leave Nigeria, what are we going to lose? And if we remain in Nigeria, what do we gain? Kí la fẹ́ gain nínú Nigeria àti pé kí la fẹ́ lose tá bá kúrò nínú Nigeria? Is there something that we're going to lose that precious sí wa gan la ṣe ní ká má kúrò nínú Nigeria? Because tá bá wà nínú Nigeria, bóyá nǹkankan wà tí ó wà precious sí wa gan tẹ́ pé ẹ̀yin ọmọ yín tá bá ti kúrò nínú Nigeria, kíní tó wà precious sí yín ẹ máa lose ẹ o. Ṣá identity wa ta fẹ́ fi sílẹ̀ ní a máa lose ni, àbí culture wa, àbí àṣà wa? If we stay in Nigeria, what do we want to gain by remaining inside one Nigeria? And if we pull out of Nigeria, what are we likely to benefit as Yoruba people? We have Yoruba around the world. Do we have more to lose when we leave Nigeria, or do we have more to gain? So, and all these are questions tí à ń béèrè lọ́wọ́ àwọn èèyàn. Nítorí pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ tí à ń sọ fún pé ká dá dúró gẹ́gẹ́ bí an independent country. Ó dà pé wọ́n really mọ kí ló ń pè ní independent country gangan. What do we call an independent country? Tá a bá sọ pé independent country. Ṣé Nàìjíríà wà independent? Ṣé Nàìjíríà wà independent? Is Nigeria an independent? So the reason why we say we should exit is not because we have something to gain in Nigeria anymore. The more tabadros in Nigeria, kódà, we have a lot to lose. Because it's a country that, with the amount of errors, trial luck, don't she, is a setback fún ìran ọmọ Yorùbá. On set wa back. On shekini, on set wa back. Nigeria is a bad market for wa. And kò sẹ́ni reason tá gbọ́dọ̀ endorse ẹ̀ mọ́. Bad market ní Nigeria jẹ́ fún gbogbo wa ìran Yorùbá. But ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ tí get the picture yẹn pé bad market ní Nigeria jẹ́ fún wa. Maybe àwọn tí wọ́n fún wọn ní this narrative pé ẹ má gbọ́ sáwọn tí wọ́n ń pariwo pé ká break Nigeria o, wàhálà ló fẹ́ dá sílẹ̀ o, ìdààmú ló máa dá sílẹ̀ o bá ṣe wà nínú Nigeria. Especially àwọn tó máa sọ fún yín pé tá bá kúrò nínú Nigeria ó máa ní setback fún ìran Yorùbá. But ìran Yorùbá tó wà nínú Nigeria ṣé àìtí ní enough setback tó ní? We've had enough setback. The world is not going to wait for us. Ilé ayé tá ń gbé kò sẹ́ni kankan tó máa dúró dè yín. For us to catch up, a gbọ́dọ̀ kúrò nínú Nigeria. Because the world is moving. Inú mọ́tò tí mo wà yìí nísìn is an electric vehicle. Fully electric. Kò lo epo kankan mọ́, kò sọ̀rọ̀ pé à ń repo sí mọ́tò, ìyẹn ti kúrò lọ́rọ̀ Audi yìí. But ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ tí mọ̀ pé àwọn mọ́tò tí jáde tí kò nídìí diesel, kò nídìí any petrol mọ́, ó ti wà on a fully auto electric, ìyẹn Audi tí mo wà nínú ẹ̀. So why tá ṣe wá fẹ́ wà inú dánfó nígbà tá lè upgrade kúrò nínú Nigeria? But tó bá ní ká wà nínú Nigeria pé a máa rí upgrade nínú ẹ̀. Number one, èdè wa máa jẹ́ conflict of interest. Èdè wa conflict of interest tó máa jẹ́. So ìwọ tó ń rò pé a kàn jáde à ń pariwo à ń sọ̀rọ̀. No, it's because àwa ti rí more on the other side. Látara many history tó fi sí inú archive tí wọ́n jẹ́ ká mọ̀. Because history wa sọ fún wa pé we have been around thousands of years kó tó di pé àwọn British dé. These people were explorers during the era in the 15th century. Our in the 21st century. Nearer kan, we have been people live in our own domain, in our own space, doing great things. Now, the same people in another era, our backwards. Ṣé a progress ni àbí a wà lójú kan? So who is now going to tell us pé, oh, ẹ má worry nípa history ìgbà yẹn, ẹ jẹ́ ká play with the current history. But the current history kò gbé wa lọ anywhere. Kàkà bẹ́ẹ̀, ó dá wa padà sẹ́yìn. Kàkà ká lọ síwájú, à ń padà sẹ́yìn. Like pé à ń padà sẹ́yìn 60 years backwards. Òun lọ̀rọ̀ Nigeria. And the question is, how many of us do you think that can live another 60 years with your current age? Tó bá wo ọmọ ọdún mélòó ni anything, add the 60 years more and ask yourself, níbo ni ìrànlẹ̀ Yorùbá máa wà within the next 60 years? I mean, 60 years plus your age. I will be going to about 100 and something years old. That is if we are all still alive. So why then are we forcing ourselves into something that has taken the whole indigenous people backwards? And what you want compete with the world. And what you want away. And what you want lakaye. And what you want many things to le offer ilé ayé. Our backwards. Due to the fact that future wa àwọn kan wá bá wa dì mú. Ṣé future Yorùbá ṣọwọ́ èèyàn kan ló yẹ ká gbélé lọ́wọ́? Because ẹni tá a fẹ́ gbélé lọ́wọ́, òun fúnra rẹ̀ ó ní very limited time ní ilé ayé tó wà yìí. Ẹni tá a fẹ́ gbé future Yorùbá lé lọ́wọ́, òun fúnra rẹ̀ gan ó ní a very very limited time. So kí la wá parọ́ fúnra wa fún nígbà tá a mọ̀ òtítọ́ tí a wá gbé yẹn sẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́, a wá nítorí pé èèyàn kan tó ń ṣe president lọ́wọ́. Even the father presidency tó ń ṣe òun gan fúnra rẹ̀ gan ó mọ̀ pé kò lè lọ ju a very limited time lọ́mọ. So the world is moving and they're moving at a very speed of sound. But àwa máa ní ìwọ ni ìmọ́lẹ̀ ògo adúláwọ̀. Ṣé nínú Nàìjíríà láti máa jẹ́ ìmọ́lẹ̀? Torí pé gbogbo àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá tó compete láti Dublin ní Germany ní America tó lọ represent àwọn ìlú yẹn ní Olympic, a rí ògo wọn. A rí kíni? A rí ògo wọn. Kí ló dé tí 200 million people a rí ògo kankan tó compete ní Olympic tó bá wa mú mẹ́dà kan padà? Kí ló dé tí a rí ògo yẹn láàrin 200 million Nigerians going to France and compete and bring medal back to Nigeria? Could we say that something is wrong? Or multiple things are wrong? But the same àwọn ọmọ ológo tó kúrò ní Nigeria tó lọ represent Dublin or Ireland, ìkan represent Germany and many other countries around the world. Ó dà pé wọ́n ní kan represent Japan, if I'm right. They were able to compete. Ògo yẹn dẹ̀ jáde, but ògo yẹn wá jáde not from the country tí origin wọn tọ́nà ti wá ní Nigeria, but ó jáde gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹ̀yà ọmọ Yorùbá. Because ọmọ Yorùbá tó bá ń bẹ nínú Nigeria, ògo ẹ̀ wọ́n dè mọ́lẹ̀, wọ́n paná ẹ̀. And we can no longer live in that fake contraction. It is important that we now ask for the right of the Yoruba people, the inalienable right láti béèrè fún independent Yoruba country. An independent Yoruba country, ní bá ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ nísìn, àwọn tí wọ́n lọ compete fún Olympic, they are already preparing for the next 4 years. Why táwa wà níbi tí a ti ń wá ìdírè ìṣáná. Why should we go out of Nigeria is because ó set wa backward, kò set wa, kò fi wá sí motion láti tẹ̀síwájú. Nigeria fi wá sí reverse. A kàn reverse ni reverse when we should be going forward. And it has nothing to do with leadership. It has much to do as culture is different. It has much to do because we are not one single nation. Nigeria is a country of many nations. But we have been told lies by the international communities that Nigeria, the giant of ants, because I don't see Nigeria as a giant of Africa, it's a giant of ants. Tí tortoise wá parọ́ fún ẹran tí gọgọgọ igọ̀. We are meant to be the elephant, the citizens, but we've allowed the tortoise among ourselves to set the motion of the true indigenous people and set us all backwards. And after Tabafi Parọ́ from our editor on Facebook, I got to shut that side because it's already telling me that my battery is low. But before you go, I wanted to say this. This is an Audi. As you can tell, this vehicle is no longer using petrol. It is on electric. And that tells us that the world has advanced away from Nigeria, that many of you think your crude oil, increment of the devil, that has not helped you. You can see that the world is moving at a very, very fast pace. And it is not going to wait for you. You have to go outside Nigeria so that you can enjoy the future that is coming closer in the Yoruba country. So I can't come from any fabu kankan pé oh àwọn tó ń pariwo Yorùbá nation wọn níṣẹ́ ló ṣe ń pariwo Yorùbá nation. A ní ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn tó wà brilliant. And we will not give up because ọ̀rọ̀ tá máa máa sọ tẹ́ máa fi tẹ́tí yín tó máa fi gbọ́ nǹkan tá à ń sọ òun là ń ṣe lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́. If many of you think that oh we will get tired, no, since tá tí ní nǹkan tá fẹ́ fi jà ẹnu tá lè fi jà yìí òun la máa kọ́kọ́ fi gbára wa sílẹ̀. A máa kọ́kọ́ fi ẹnu wa a máa fi gbára wa sílẹ̀. Let me show you. That car is an electric. You can tell there from the battery. The battery is telling me it's got about close to about 70% still fully charged. While we are all asking for Yoruba nation is because we want a future that represents us, not the future that doesn't represent us in that contraction you call Nigeria. Ilufo, Ilutoti backwards, where they've stolen so much out of the shithole country. And many of you cannot even have 3 square meals. We have the land. We have everything. Eledumare create air. Time ni bibai. O no need the same air. Tolong da sile Yoruba. Ile tari ni bibai. O better ni bibai. Boko better to tiwa long. Because we only have a very limited time for the summer. Toba ma fi di October ni sin. Gbogbo mama tutu ni. Ọlọ́run tó dá wọn ó mọ purpose tó ṣe dá wọn nítorí àwọ̀ tiwọn nítorí tiwọn. Ọlọ́run tó dá wa tí ó fi òrùn síbẹ̀ ó mọ purpose tó fi òrùn yẹn síbẹ̀ kó máa bá wa lára mu. But many of you don't want to agree because you have been told lies for as much as the British rule in that contraction. But kí la máa fi gbára wa sílẹ̀? Àti pé ọ̀nà àbáyọ wo ni ó kù? And let me just show you as well here before I end this broadcast. That vehicle that you are looking right now, Timo Wanwe, is an electric. Nobody's going to wait for you. It's a fully automatic Audi. Check it. But what I'm trying to explain to us this afternoon is that don't be deceived that the future that we want will be the future like Nigeria. No, we don't want the kind of future of Nigeria. The future of Nigeria has failed. Muke de Michael, Abiodun, Mary, Mukima, Eshegon Momimi. What we should all be asking for right now, I'm gonna do a later. What we should all demand for is a total exit. Nothing more than that. Anything less than that will not be accepted. Anything less than pé kí Nigeria kó pín is not going to be accepted. Bash election more than 30 years from now, the world will not wait for you and you will not get the full benefit of the country. Because àwọn tó gbé Nàìjíríà dúró, wọ́n mọ reason tó ṣe gbé dúró. Wọ́n gbé dúró pé kíran àwọn ọmọ tó ń bẹ nínú Nàìjíríà kó ṣoríire. Wọ́n fẹ́ ká máa sá kiri bí ẹ̀ṣọ́ oníwòlímọ̀, ká máa lọ from point A to B. Àwọn tó bá wá jẹ́ bí 1% láàrin wa nínú population of 35 million tọ́pọ̀ ọmọ Yorùbá nínú Nàìjíríà, àwọn 1% ni wọ́n máa wá ní full access fún many basic things. Àwọn 3% àwọn náà ní díẹ̀, àwọn 5%, the whole 10% péré ló wà okay. The remaining 90% are struggling. Ọwọ́ ò lè tẹnumọ́, ìyà ń jẹ wọ́n lọ́tún lósì, and they will suffer because àwa tí Ọlọ́run fún ní làákàyè ká gbọ́ àgbọ́yé, we refuse to speak out. À ń sọ pé kò kàn wá, kò jẹ́ kẹ́ni tó wà ní diaspora, kódà kò má níwèé ní UK, kò má níwèé l'Amẹ́ríkà ní Canada, ó gbọ́dọ̀ máa sọ pé kọ́lọ́n dúró kó tún lọ bless Nàìjíríà. Ká má tẹ̀tí wàá sọ ẹni tọ́lọ́run ti fún ní right to live in those countries. Kódà àwọn tó ń gbé ní Asian country, ká má tẹ̀tí sọ àwọn tó ń gbé ní Arab country gan, wọ́n wà better off ju ẹni tó wà Nàìjíríà lọ. Even though wọ́n nífẹ̀ẹ́ wa náà, bọ̀ kí la máa ṣe sí? Torí pé jẹ́jẹ́ wa ni àwa la lọ bá wọn ní àwọn ìlú yẹn. So how can somebody that lives in Europe be telling us that, oh, the future of Nigeria will be bright? Ìwọ ọ̀dẹ̀ gbé nínú Nàìjíríà. Ó jókòó sínú comfort zone ẹ̀, ó ń sọ pé future Nigeria ṣì máa dá. But ó mọ̀ pé nígbà tó fẹ́ kúrò Nàìjíríà, ṣó mọ̀ pé future ò dá. Ṣùgbọ́n nígbà tó ti kúrò ní Nàìjíríà, so ti wá rí vision pé future Nigeria máa dá. Why tó ṣe wà nígbà tó wà Nàìjíríà? Kí ló dé tí future Nigeria yẹn ò dá? Why is it that after you have left Nigeria, ló ṣe wá mọ̀ pé future Nigeria máa dá? Future yẹn ò ṣe dá nígbà tó wà níbẹ̀. Because you have the privilege as part of the 10% láti fi Nigeria sílẹ̀, either through educational purpose, through because your parent, through because a marriage, through because of your network, through because of whatever reason tó fi kúrò nínú Nigeria. Kí ló dé tó jẹ́ pé nígbà tó kúrò nínú Nigeria ló ṣe wá mọ̀ pé future Nigeria máa dá? Future yẹn ò ṣe dá nígbà tó wà níbẹ̀. Torí gbogbo wa nísìnyí láti wá mọ bá ṣe ń sọ analysis. Àwọn ọ̀dọ́ àmì ẹ̀ máa wọlé máa pọ̀ wọn pẹ̀. Wọ́n máa disturb program yìí máa bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀. Mo ń bọ̀ ẹ̀ ní sọ̀rọ̀. Kí ló dé tó jẹ́ pé irọ́? Ẹ̀yin kúrò nínú Nàìjíríà, Ọlọ́run fi kíkẹ́ àti ìkẹ́ ó gbé yín kúrò nínú Nàìjíríà. Ẹ wá dé ta tán, ẹ̀yin lẹ wá mọ bẹ́ ṣe ń bá wọn tó wà Nàìjíríà sọ̀rọ̀ pé ó ṣe sùúrù, pé gbogbo ẹ̀ ṣì máa létò. Tinubu máa ṣe. Tinubu government will fix Nigeria. Tinubu will fix Nigeria. Ó yẹ kójú ti gbogbo wa báyìí o. Because when you were all shouting Jagaban, Jagaban, you forgot that Jagaban is part of the Buhari regime. Eshegoni Mr. Idowu Michael. Thank you so much. Destiny Kenini. You never see anything. Bugwana Lajoma see. You too, you never see anything. Okay? Don't come and tell me say you never see anything. What you don't see? Idiot. Now what's the program on the program? You never see anything. Don't bastard. So ẹ̀yin wa, ẹ má yẹ káwọn tó wà ní diaspora máa sọ fún yín pé ariwo tó ń pa kò lè mú kankan jáde. It is still under a non-violence. Òun la ṣe ń pariwo, la fi ń ṣe program, la fi ń continuously non-stop, so that èèyàn méjì tó bá gbọ́, ẹ sọ fẹ́ni tó ì tí gbọ́ pé ọ̀rọ̀ Nàìjíríà ń ṣọ̀rọ̀ election, a lọ ń ṣe politics. Before you know now, APC will be the another party. We have to create another party, daddy. Because ìjà ti wà láàrin APC báyìí. The family talk with that one, it has already been destroyed. Wọ́n kàn parọ́ fúnra wọn in the public, but internally, there's nothing called APC because El-Rufai will not go with APC again. Everybody knows that. Atulo mú party mi jáde. And if you look at APC, ten rí Bọ́lá Tinubu yìí náà òun ló lọ fọ́ọ̀mù APC pẹ̀lú àwọn CPC tó ń pè ní Buhari. So tẹ́ bá ń sọ pé Tinubu ìjọba ẹ̀ ọdún kan ló ṣe, irọ́ lẹ̀ ń pa fún wa o. Ọdún 9 ni wọ́n ṣe lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́, kò sí tó kàn wá pẹ̀lú pé Tinubu ló ṣẹ̀ débẹ̀. It is a continuity of Buhari and Yemi Osinbajo government, because ọdún 8 ni wọ́n fi ṣe. Àwọn olórí burúkú PDP àwọn yẹn náà jẹun títí for 16 years. Program ends in 4 minutes. Ó wá di jẹun sókè, olúkálùkù wá ń jẹun sókè, jẹun sókè, jẹun sókè, jẹun sókè government. And Dele Alake wọ́n sọ fáwọn pé oh there is a road map. Ibo ni road map tí Yemi Osinbajo lò, níbo nìyẹn wà? Where is the road map? The road map tí Yemi Osinbajo àti Buhari tó fi run the country yẹn, níbo ló gbé sí? Where is the road map? How come all of a sudden the road map nísìn tí wọ́n yẹn ó ti hang? Àti wá fẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ pẹ̀lú another road map from Tinubu and Shettima, terrorist man. So don't be deceived. Ọ̀dọ́ ló máa ṣe, we need the youth to come and fix Nigeria. Which bomb bastard youth you need? All this criminal youth. Let everybody goes back to their tentacle and go and deal with themselves as an independent country. Kojú lè tó wa, so that tí bá ń sọ Yorùbá, olórí burúkú ọmọ Igbo ni máa sọ fún mi pé kí shut up. And the same thing vice versa. Tí bá ń sọ Yorùbá, ọmọ àlè Fúlàní kan àbáwúsá kan òní máa sọ fún mi pé èdè tí mò ń sọ kò yé òun, kí ni kan pẹ̀lú èdè tí mò ń sọ. Mo kí ẹ gànà lóyèdè. But nítorí pé ẹ tí ní làákàyè pé àwọn ọmọ France, they have nothing to lose if they fight for that country called France. Torí pé ìlú wọn ni, elédè kan náà ni wọ́n. Tá a bá ní ká jáde nísìn, ọmọ Igbo á sọ pé kí ni kan òun. Mo kí ya mi Ọlánìkẹ́. Tá a bá ní ká jáde nísìn, àwọn ọmọ Igbo á ní kí ni kan àwọn àjáde gọgọgọ Igbo. Wọn náà àwọn ọmọ tí. Tá a bá ní àwa kọ́ ni problem Nigeria, Igbo á sọ pé Yorùbá people na you destroy Nigeria. Tá a náà bá ní Igbo na you destroy Nigeria. Hausa ní gbogbo méjèèjì shut up. Ẹ wá wo bá ṣe ń bára wa jà. Nígbà tá àkókò ṣe léyà kan náà, à ń ṣe lédè kan náà. Yet, à ń sọ fún ọmọ Yorùbá pé ẹ lè máa ní ẹ fẹ́ wà nínú Nàìjíríà kẹ wá fẹ́ castigate àwọn Igbo, kò possible. Mo máa ń sọ fún yín. Ẹ kàn máa forí yín fọ́ àgbọn ni. Fúnra yín dẹ̀ lẹ́ máa forí yín fọ́. Because you will not be in the same country with them and then ẹ fẹ́ intimidate wọn, kò possible. Tá bá gba country tiwa, constitution ló máa determine bóyá intern sọ fún wọn wọ́n máa gbọ́ àbí wọ́n ní gbọ́. But ẹ fẹ́ wà nínú wọn Nàìjíríà, ẹ fẹ́ jẹ gàba lé wọn lórí. Ṣé rí pé kò lè possible. Ó dà àwọn lọ́ba regional government jẹ́. Ṣé dandan ni ká wà nínú regional government? Anáàtẹ̀fẹ́ regional government ẹni ká gba independent. Torí pé Yorùbá ti ń ṣe country kó tó di pé lórí burúkú British rule dé. Ní 1914, àwọn olè jẹgúrújẹrá èní ló pé ọjọ́ táwọn Indian náà gba independent lọ́wọ́ British after 200 years rule. Gbogbo táwọn ìpín Nàìjíríà lé ní nísìn kò tí pé 200 years old. Grandfather tá bá ní ká lọ wo history bàbá bẹ́ẹ̀ kódà wá dàgbà jù wá fẹ́ tó 200 years old. But ní làákàyè Nàìjíríà tó jẹ́ 110 years old òun ló fẹ́ kú lé lórí. But àwa ènìyàn tọ́lọ́run ti dá tó dá wa dáadáa tá ti wà for more than 8,000 years ìyàn tẹ̀ bẹ́nu kó tẹ̀ yẹ kó máa forí lagi pé kí ló dé tí ìran wa wá rí báyìí. Àfi kẹ́ máa point finger wọ́n mọ̀ ṣe tá a bá mọ̀ ṣe yìí náà ṣe gbé kẹ́yìn náà máa ṣe ìtẹ́ bá lè ṣe kórúkárúkú máa ṣe. Bòkun ṣe pé ká wá fi parọ́ padà ti gba country. So àmọ̀ràn là ń sọ fọ́mọlúàbí tó bá dénú ẹ bá mi parí òwe yẹn adòdìndì. Mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí o. Ọlọ́run tí ó dá wa ní gbogbo ibi tó dá wa sí. Torí àwa kan ti bí àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá kan síta tẹ́lómi ò tí mọjọ́ tó máa kó wọn wálé. Àwọn tó ń kó wọn wálé gan Èkó ló ń kó wọn dé. Èyí tó bá kó wọn lọ sí ìlú pẹ̀lú àdúrà àtàwẹ̀ ni ṣé ẹ kó rí bẹ́ẹ̀. Why are we living in denial? Èmi ló ń pè ní Koikimedia tí gbogbo wa mọ̀ sí bringing the world closer to your doorstep. Lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí mọ́tò yìí tó ń lo electric àwọn ọ̀tẹ̀ rántí pé wọ́n ti gbàgbé pé nǹkan kan wà tó ń pè lépo kò ń ṣe pé mọ́tò elépo ì tí kúrò ńlẹ̀ o, ó sì exist, people are still driving cars, but àwọn ti wà ní tìgbàlódé electric, fully electric, tó dẹ̀ lè rìnrìn wákàtí tó pọ̀ dáadáa as I set out for my next junction. Yoruba Nation not going back. Mo kí gbogbo ilé lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí o. Have a very good afternoon. Bye for now.